I'm going to take you inside the studio with me for the whole day. The idea is to create a track by the end of the day, and I want to emphasize on the process and not the outcome. So it doesn't matter if there is no track at the end of the day or if the track sounds bad. The idea is to reflect the real life. Sometimes you do great things, sometimes bad, so no matter the outcome, I will share it. Alright, so my first feeling for today's track, actually it often depends a lot about the season and the weather, so we are like half March, end of the winter. During winter I tend to do more ambient dubs things, I don't know why. It's pretty sunny outside, so that's impact my mood also. So I'm more into something maybe ambient, deep ambient, more like in the happy side maybe. But you know, things can change, so that's why I like to record this first feeling, so we'll see at the end of the day how it went. Alright, so usually when I'm doing an ambient track, I like to start with the pad drone-like sound. Really like to kind of set the mood of the track, and my go-to sound for that is usually the Super 6, mainly because it got a binaural mode, and in complement with the delay and the chorus, you can get really like super wide sound. It's obviously also a polyphonic sound, and you can use detune, so that's what I've done here. Oscillator 1 is a wavetable, oscillator 2 is a square waveform, and then some slow modulation with LFO to make the sounds evolve. Also use a Slink Filter, it's a Maxwell-like device, filter bank, like to kind of modulate the sound, and everything goes into a Valhalla vintage Verb to create this kind of big washout sound. Here the difficulty was more about finding a good chord and even like choosing an auto chord progression. Actually, this is a dilemma I often got because a steady chord can be boring, but then a chord progression can be also sound very quickly cheesy. Now, to find good chords, I usually now use expressive chords from Ableton, and you can try plenty of different chords, chord progression, and couldn't really find a sound or chord I like it, so I said why not to add the Ableton scale after that and try to find a weird kind of scale. And I actually tried the Hirajoshi scale in C, and it actually made the chord exactly how I wanted. So a bit of luck here, but yeah, I just found my constant pad drone-like mood for the track. To be honest, straight after I made the pad, I already had in mind the kind of bass I wanted. This kind of legato Moog bass, and I got a Sub-37, so I knew it would be perfect for that. And the sound is nothing crazy, kind of a classic Moog sound with two sawtooth oscillators, slightly detune, and a good amount of sub-oscillator. Everything is going through a low-pass filter, and then a bit of glide for this nice pitch modulation between two notes. And first I had in mind more like a single note pattern, just having like the same note the whole time for the bass. But then because I activated the glide, I started to play with, and actually I found a simple but effective bass pattern. Now in techno it's always hard to find a good bass without having your kick drum, so for this kind of deep ambient track, usually 808 style kick drums works well, and on the Syntakt there is a sound engine called BD Silky that does this perfectly. You got the round of 808 and a bit of punch and a nice click transient. Then I wanted to add a bit of groove with a hats ride like sound, and again I use the Syntakt because they have very nice noisy metallic hats and ride that can sometimes be hard to make fit the track or find the right pitch though. As for the pattern, what's making interesting is that on step 7 and 15 the GK is longer than the other step, which creates a nice groove. Now before to move on, I wanted to experiment with the Overstayer on the kick drum to see if I could add a little something. I used the high pass filter with a high resonance boost on the kick fundamental. This usually helps to boost the low, and then I use the EQ, but surprisingly mainly removing frequency to kind of clean the kick and make it better. No compression, I rarely use compression on my kick, and a very gentle saturation. But the thing is with 808 like kick, they start to drive pretty quickly, so if you want to keep this clean, rounded, deep sound, it's better to stay gentle on saturation. Alright, so it's a bit more than midday. We already have pad, bass, kick and hats. So the track is going in a very melodic direction. I'm a bit concerned and scared that it will turn into a cheesy track, so hopefully no. It's good that it's lunch break, so like this I can rest my hair and come back with fresh hairs and to see if I'm going in the right direction or not. Also, I have absolutely no idea in which direction to go now. You know, I know I will add some more percussion and drums. I have some ideas, but in terms of main lead and main element and more melodic things, I kind of don't really know. But yeah, we'll see. So after lunch, I don't really know where to go, so I started experimenting with different things. And to the point I used this BLEASS Arpeggiator VST, which is really great to create kind of complex arpeggiator. The other cool thing is you have plenty of parameters to make your sequence or arpeggiator evolve a lot. And for the sound, I actually use Ableton Drift. The sound structure is pretty similar to the Sub-37 patch I did before. The thing I love with Drift is you have the mono mode, and you can increase a mono thickness parameter, which basically add extra harmonics on the lower frequency below your fundamental, and both together just work perfectly. I actually play and experimented a lot with this BLEASS device to the point where I almost kind of create a bass arpeggiator, and I started to doubt about the bass line I had with the Moog and trying to see if I was doing like a rumble with tom plus this Arp, and it was kind of working, so I hesitated between keeping the original Moog bass or trying to get this kind of Arp bass line. On the end, what I did is I keep the Moog and the arpeggiator, I kind of play an octave upper, and now we got this kind of arpeggiator, which is that you just heard, that is kind of our main lead, our main like core element. Now I'm still unsure. I might get back to this idea of rumble plus this Arp but playing as a bass later on, but because I'm scared like this is gonna get too cheesy. But I really like this Arp, especially with this BLEASS arpeggiator device, because I can really like play with the octave range, not repeat, step jump. There is a lot of parameter I can experiment, change the octave. So yeah, this has happened often to me, especially when I'm working on more melodic stuff where I'm like in between two ideas and in between two directions. I have the possibility to go to something more darker ambient or something more melodic, but never really know which one to choose. So yeah, we'll see how it ends up. For this session, I actually only stay on Ableton. This is my typical workflow when starting a track with hardware, is that I use 1-2 machine, then switch to Ableton to finish the track. Mainly because once I catch up the idea, I'm faster with Ableton to put down things and elements around that. You're gonna see I use a lot of loops and presets, and I'm absolutely not ashamed of it, especially in cases like this where I got an idea and I need to write down the track fast before the inspiration is gone. So let me show you what I added. So the first thing I added is noise. This complements usually well ambient track, and here I filter it and use fader flanger to have this fading effect and autopan to make it move around your head. Then I work on some perk, which sounds like this. Few things interesting is that you can see it's kind of like 6 steps, so it's gonna be polymeter with the kick and everything, so that's gonna create a kind of hypnotic effect also. And then I have another one I created, same kind of purpose, like very hypnotic descent. I actually record live with the push, and kind of very resonating, weird. I use a preset of mine, and this is really to give an hypnotic vibe to the track, but this is for when the Arp is not going to be playing. I can bring this, I can bring the percussion also. It's going to add a bit more variation on top of adding groove. And then I add some hats that I made from loops also. It's 2 loops that I heavy filter it to just kind of have the top high like shaker hats sound. And together. Alright, you might be wondering why I'm standing more on that later. First, let's see what I add. First thing is this basic patch with drift. It's just a sine wave with a bit of overdrive, delay and echo, and it's just meant to add harmonics to enhance the track. Next sound is this voice kind of sound. Is from a pack from Ableton which is called Voice Box, and is mainly my idea is to use it during the break to kind of create momentum and like this kind of very rising moment. We'll see. Now the idea is I'm like adding a lot of layer, probably too many, but when I rather have too many and then in the moment of the arrangement kind of remove the one which are unnecessary than having not enough material to build an arrangement. Alright, once I feel I have enough element, usually I clean up the session, color code, arrange by track if I haven't done it before. Just very important before arrangement, like things are clear, you know where is what. Also, usually before to go into the arrangement view, I like to do a kind of a little jam session with the different elements, like kind of playing it live to see in which direction I can make the track goes. This usually gives me an idea on how to build the tension, how to arrange the tracks, which parts are going well together, just giving me idea for the arrangement. And usually for this kind of mini jam, I love to use my UC4 from Faderfox. It's a tiny MIDI controller, but you have button, fader, and I'm up there all kind of control, mute, FXN, cutoff, volumes, anything that can be fun playing during the jam. It's very convenient when you wanna jam. Alright, and this is why I'm standing now. It's because now that I have all my elements, everything is set up, I like to jump. So obviously I prefer to be standing because I prefer to move and you are more like in a danceable situation. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave you on this little jam. Hope you like this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.